Hello, Ospreys. Welcome to an international news update on Inside Swoop in 90. I'm Alex Rodriguez, here to give you the inside scoop on Inside Swoop. While President Trump himself is at a global conference in Switzerland, his trial for impeachment unfolds at the Capitol. The trial goes underway Tuesday afternoon with a few ground rules as the first order of business. Some of the proposed rules include phones being banned from the chamber during proceedings and the right to close the proceedings to debate in private, meaning the cameras can be shut off and non-members of the Senate may be kicked out at any time. They intend the trial to proceed 6 days a week, excluding Sunday, until they can come to a decision. Meanwhile, there are 6 dead and 291 infected by a new coronavirus in China, which targets the respiratory system. Face masks are selling out and temperature checks at airports and train stations have become the norm. The mayor of Wuhan, where the illness seemed to have originated from, has urged travelers to avoid entering Wuhan and its citizens to remain in the city. The black box flight recorders from the Ukrainian jetliner accidentally shot down by Iran will be sent to Ukraine for further analysis. Hassan Rezaeifur, the head of accident investigations for the Iranian Civil Aviation Department, said the black boxes were unable to be read in Iran with no further elaboration. French, American, and Canadian experts will now aid in the analysis of the boxes at the Ukrainian capital. President Trump's impeachment trial before the U.S. Senate was not deemed ready for primetime television by many of the nation's leading TV executives. While CNN and MSNBC showed the evening session of the trial in full, ABC, CBS, and NBC stuck to their regularly scheduled programs. Even Fox News interrupted Representative Adam Schiff after about a half hour of speaking to report a news story and never returned. Texas Republican Representative John Ratcliffe said, quote, "Today was really boring, and the president's defense team is very happy." A man in Washington state has contacted the new coronavirus after traveling to China. Officials are monitoring more than a dozen people who have come into contact with him. Meanwhile, Chinese authorities locked down 3 cities, home to more than 18 million people, in an effort to contain the new deadly virus that has sickened close to 600 people. 17 people have died in this outbreak, and a majority in and around the city of Wuhan.
Hello, Ospreys. Welcome to an international news update on Inside Swoop in 90. I'm Michelle Gonzalez, here to give you the inside scoop on Inside Swoop. A plane chartered by the U.S. government evacuated 201 Americans from Wuhan this week. All passengers passed 2 health screenings in China and 2 in Alaska, where the plane stopped to refuel. They will undergo additional health screenings once they arrive in California and will be placed in temporary housing as they finish the repatriation process. The flight crew remained isolated from the passengers for the entire flight as to ensure they would have the lowest chance of contracting the virus themselves.
More than 1,700 Chinese medical workers have become infected by COVID-19 in their efforts to treat this virus, and 6 of them have died. COVID-19 has killed almost 1,400 people in general, having spread to several other parts of Asia and even parts of Europe and the U.S. In China's attempt to contain the virus, the hardest hit cities are under lockdown with restrictions for people entering and leaving the cities.
A 61-year-old man returned home to Brazil from a vacation in Italy to find that he has the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Latin America. Brazil's health minister Luiz Mandetta is curious about how the virus will behave during the middle of the summer in such a tropical climate. Brazil's National Health Agency has been working to map all contact that might have been had with the patient, most recently requesting the flight manifest from his travels to investigate other possible cases.
I'm Alex Rodriguez, working remotely from home to give you the inside scoop on Inside Swoop. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in Florida is nearing 5,000 after jumping by 912 cases on Sunday. This is the largest single-day jump in the state, with Miami-Dade and Broward County being the biggest hotspots. For many residents, it was their first weekend under orders that you are, quote, safer at home. Many students have begun virtual schooling now that spring break has ended in most areas. Speaking of virtual schooling, last week, buses equipped with Wi-Fi arrived at a rural South Carolina county to help students struggling to get schoolwork done during the nationwide shutdown caused by COVID-19. While school districts in LA and New York are spending millions of dollars to provide devices and internet connections for students, those in smaller ones must find ways to boost wireless in school parking lots. This pandemic has launched a massive spontaneous experiment with distance learning and has created extra hurdles for impoverished students. Some districts are even sticking with paper assignments and books as digital equality issues are too much to overcome.
I'm Michelle Gonzalez, working remotely from home to give you the inside scoop on Inside Swoop. The death toll from coronavirus in New York City rose past 4,000 on Tuesday, exceeding the number killed at the World Trade Center on 9/11 by 1,000. New York recorded its biggest one-day jump with 731 new coronavirus deaths, making the statewide toll 5,500. AP reports New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said the number of hospital admissions and of those receiving breathing tubes are dropping, which indicates social distancing measures are succeeding. In fact, over the past several days, number of deaths appear to be leveling off. Cuomo said, quote, "You see that plateauing because of what we're doing. If we don't do it, that's a much different curve." Wuhan, the Chinese city where many believe coronavirus originated, no longer has any hospitalized patients, according to the Hubei Province Health Commission. While Hubei has no more suspected cases in its hospitals, 1,728 people are still being monitored closely because they had close contact with the infected. While China isn't free of the disease, with cases still found in Shanghai and Beijing, the Hubei province accounted for more than 80% of the country's deaths, which is currently over 4,800. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Brazil is becoming a hotspot for the virus, with hospitals and cemeteries becoming overwhelmed, according to AP. Medical officials in major cities like Rio de Janeiro have warned their hospitals are on the verge of collapse or have already started turning away patients. That being said, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro insists COVID-19 is a minor disease and social distancing measures will not stop it. Meanwhile, in America, President Donald Trump insisted he was being sarcastic when he suggested research into whether injecting disinfectant would stop the spread of coronavirus. After this comment in last Thursday's briefing, a Fox medical contributor tweeted that injecting bleach, inhaling disinfectants, or exposing yourself to intense UV light could, quote, destroy the cells and organs that you might need in order to live. Lysol even warned customers to not inject or ingest their product. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, it's been really weird. We were talking about how when we started it, World War III was possibly going to happen, and coronavirus was just like a small little sickness just in Wuhan.
Yeah.
Thank you for welcoming me into your home so that we could continue to do this and bring this to you guys. It's been awesome, and thank you for sticking with us. All right.
And that was your
Inside Scoop.
On Inside Swoop.
Have a great rest of your day. Are we done?
Yeah.
We're done! Aww,